everybody, how you doing? It's Yvonne here, and today I'd like to show you how I made one of these little brag books that I saw on Pinterest and I really enjoyed. Matter of fact, I did it as one of the classes that I teach. So here is how it opens up, and then it opens up this way, and you have all these spaces to add a photograph, or if you want to turn it into a journaling piece, it's up to you. It's all adorable. It just slides in like a glove, and it closes like so. You could also put another piece here if you wanted to have more pictures, and you have yourself a brag book for your purse or to give as a gift and a bit of embellishment. Let me show you how I did this book. To start off, you're going to need four envelopes like this. And then you are going to need some cardstock in order to make your matting for your pictures. So let me show you how I did this. We are going to open the envelope. Envelope size really doesn't matter. It's up to you. And then you're going to have another one underneath here. You're going to open the flap and you're going to attach it to this. Then you are going to have another one here, and you are going to have another one here. So you can do one of two things. You can, like I have the automatic pull off that little tab and glue it. So I'm gluing two this way, like so. And then to attach the two others, I think I'll add a bit of glue on the bottom so it doesn't pop up as much. Like that, just a little bead of glue, nothing too exaggerated, like this, because this is going to turn this way and this is going to be your lid. So from here, what you do is you add the other one. Now the lid facing up, but what you're going to do with the lid is you're going to add the lid inside. So you could either, if you have glue, either moisten the glue and add it, just turn the flap inside like this, and you have your side pocket. And then here, you're going to do the same, and you have your side pocket. Now, you may choose not to moisten the lid. I just did because it's there and it's convenient to do so. Now, what I did as a I saw this and I thought that was a good idea. I flipped it over like this, and then I took just some masking tape, and the reason for masking tape is just a temporary hold. I aligned both my envelope really good, and washi tape is not something that'll tear anything apart, so it's really kind of nice, and I'll be able to leave it there, but still. So this is one side, and I think you can see it kind of forming, can't you? I thought that was such a neat idea when I saw this. I forget who it was. I'm trying to think as I'm talking who was the person that I saw. I think it's Natasha, I think. I could be wrong, but I saw it on Pinterest and then went to the site and saw it, and I thought, oh, this is so cool. I bet you some of the girls in the class would like to do this. And they did. They really enjoyed it. We had a good laugh over it, and because we were trying to put it together, and it's not hard. It's not something they would have attempted on their own, I think, but it's so easy. And I know you can do that too. And then this is how you end up with your brag book, just like that. And then you flip it over on this side, and you have it. There you go. So all you need to do at this point now is to add whatever decorative paper that you want. At this point, I use a 12 from Stampin' Up, but any Christmas paper will do. It really doesn't matter. You can. I love the bling. And what I did is, because it's 12 by 12, and 12 by 12 is not necessarily conducive to the length of this piece, for an example. So I'm going to use this one because it doesn't have as much glare on it. And all I did was cut out, so the envelope itself, when you get to measure, you want to know how much paper, the envelope itself is 4 3/4. 4 3/4 by 6 1/2, I believe. So what I'm going to do, yeah, let me see, 6 1/2, correct. So 4 3/4 by 6 1/2. Therefore, I'm going to cut this for the width here. So I'm going to cut it 4 3/4 there. 4 3/4. You can cut it the way you want. I kind of wanted the seams to be on the same on one side as it was on the other. So I kind of just eyeballed it to be in the center, like so. And all I did at this point was just add some glue all the way around. I think I'm going to need to cut my blade, get a new blade on my cutter. I can see it's rippling a bit. Just a little bit of glue like that. I love working with glue because it gives me time to position what I have, the paper. And if I don't have it right, and a lot of times I don't have it right, I really have a hard time positioning because of my visual. The visual, I can see from close up, but I see from one eye, but I really have a hard time positioning with the other eye. But the other eye I don't see at all out of it. So anyway, enough that. So now I've done that. So I'm going to cut another strip at the same thing at 4 3/4. So I'm going to cut another one at 4 3/4. 4 3/4 right here. I'm going to try my blade the other way, see if it cuts better. Yep. And at this point, you can do two things at this point. You can either attach like this and cut off after, or you can measure and cut. I always like to do it the other way around. I'll just add my glue right here. You can measure. Maybe I'm too lazy. Wouldn't be surprising. And I just add some glue all over like that. And I'm good to go. By the way, I'm using the Nouveau glue. I think it's Deluxe. I can't even read my label anymore. Deluxe adhesive. And any glue will do. I always have to try the new product to see how it works, and that's what I did there, and I like it. I like it. It's quite workable. Okay, so now I've done all the sides. So what I do here is I'll take it exactly where it finishes with there, and I cut it with my scissors. I don't know. I just find it easy this way. But you can cut it with your scissors, with your cutter, and measure it and cut it down. It's up to you. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm just going to add some glue all the way around like I just did, like this. And again like this, just to make sure it adheres well. And I'm going to add my paper like this. Quite simple. Not too hard, not too hard. I just want to make sure that I cover my whole envelope. There you go. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut down on my paper. Now, if you use stripes, you have to make sure your stripes match to a certain amount. Like, you know, so if you use a pattern that's busy, it's not so noticeable. But now you can hardly tell that there are two seams that are even on each side. Right there. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. I obviously don't have any more on that one, so I'm going to grab this one. And I am going to cut it at, yeah, you're right, at 4 3/4. So I'm going to cut myself another strip, I rather say, at 4 3/4. Like that. This does not necessarily have to be out on with Christmas paper either. This is pretty neutral, the red, for Christmas, but you can decorate this in any color you want. So if you wanted to give it to someone, but you don't want to make it a Christmas theme, by all means, fill your boots and get it done. Get it done the way you want it, because you're the one that's going to give it, not me. All I'm showing right now is how to make it, and how to make it so easy. And it is very easy. It is extremely easy. But we're getting into the season of making stuff for Christmas. I have been at it for a little bit. And the reason I've been at it for a little bit is because I like to have my Christmas things done, and tags and whatever. I like to have that early. My family's getting older now, so it's pretty much teenagers. Well, they are teenagers, so my grandkids, I usually give them money now. They like to shop. So what better way than buying them something they don't like or whatever. And so I don't do a whole lot of big gifts anymore, other than giving them money. What I mean by big gifts is large in size. I put this mat on because I have glass underneath, and it will give you a glare, and I know that's annoying. The less glare as possible, you can. Okay, so now we're here, and then we're here, and again we are here. See how easy that is? So stinking easy. But not done. We have to finish decorating. So I'm going to do the same process on the inside, and I'm going to do all that, and I will be right back. Okay, welcome back. So now that I've done both sides, I'm going to show you. Here we have a lip, because the envelope goes like this. And if you had an envelope like these, then you'd have a V. So what I did is I used my small pair of scissors, and right here, and all I did was, I know where my flap is, my first flap. I ran my scissors in until I hit the piece inside. Let me show you what I mean. Let me get another envelope up here if I have one. You see this envelope, okay? And it has a flap inside. Well, I have the paper going up to here, but the actual envelope goes like this. It goes down, square, and back up. So the paper goes up to here. So what I do is I cut here. I put my scissors inside, and I can feel it when it hits this piece here. So I cut 2 slits here and here. Then I flip them inside. If it's a corner like this type of envelope, what I did is I did the same thing, except I went to the center here, and cut a straight line down, and then enter it. And if you fold it out first, it's so much easier to flip it in. It's easy anyway, but one of the girls flipped it on the outside, and she said it's so much easier. So all you do is you fold it. I wanted to show you this part. And then fold it in. Just like that. See how nice and clean that makes the edges? It's so much easier and so clean. I really like the finished look on that. And now I'm going to make sure that all my 4 envelopes are exactly that same way. I'm just going to make sure that this is all in here, so it'll stay put. This one here is the same thing. I'm just going to make sure that it's all, I've been playing with it a little bit, moving it around. And I'm going to do that on all 3 remaining envelopes. So I'm just going to go in. This is my, can't see from there, but this is the side. I'm just going to go in like this. And my other side is right here. So I'm going to, so I'm not going to bother trimming this piece out, because I'm going to tuck it in anyway, so it doesn't need to be exactly the same height because it's not going to show. So there you go. There's my second envelope. It's really easy, guys. It's so simple, but it makes a difference in how your envelope is going to show. So I'm going to do the same thing here and find the other one, which is right here. And I'm going to tuck that in inside. Now here I have two pieces, obviously, because you can remember, I started with a long piece and added a piece to the end. But it doesn't matter. It matches fine. And here I have excess here that I forgot to cut off. So I'm going to grab my big old scissors. I'm just going to cut it out. There you go. We're done. So we've got that envelope done. And now we have one left. And this is this one here. So I'm just going to make sure that I cut it at the right place. I don't want to cut the envelope. I just want to cut the lid here, the inside of it, the little lip they have in there. And the reason I have that lip is to facilitate taking your card out, obviously. It makes sense to you, makes sense to me. And this one has stripes, so I want to make sure that it's level. There you go. So now I have all my envelopes ready to go. And by doing that, I am going to take my bone folder out and just squish it as hard as I can to make it as flat as I can for the envelopes. Not hard, just a little bit of weight behind it, like that, and you have yourself a booklet, just like that. Now I haven't dressed up the cover here. That is something that you can do at a later point, or you can do it right now, whichever you want. And it's the same thing. It's just adding a paper to match. And you can do two things when you flip it over. You can either use a magnet to add here. And to do that, you'll just grab yourself a magnet, if I can find my little magnet, which is, the magnets, they're so tiny, the ones that I use. So I'm going to remove the protective adhesive right there, and I'm going to add one. These attach so hard that it's I think these are caught with some glue. Let's see if I can pull it apart. These are my recycle ones. And there you go. Now I knew I could get it. There. So now I'm going to add one here in the center. And I'm going to add the other one on top, like that. I'm going to add a glue dot, a larger glue dot, on this side, because as you know, as I just said, this is a recycle one, so I've already used it for the project part, and got it ready to go again. So all I do at this point is I close it. And when I close it, what happens is the glue will attach. I forgot about that one. But be careful if you add if you have one like mine. It adjusts the clip to be right on top. My other envelopes didn't have that type of adhesive on it, so it made it easier. I didn't think of it here. But that's okay. Crafts can be fixed. I'm not worried about that. And then all I did was cover up this piece here like this, like that, just as simple as that. And did the same thing here. I lined it up like that. And then I cut off the excess, like that. And I'm going to add the other piece on the other side. It's really simple. Like that. Oh, the glue dried, so just add some more glue. Maybe this one will work just as well. There you go. Just like that. And then I'm going to cut it down. And I'm going to do the same thing with the opposite side. I'm going to, let's hope that I have enough. You need two full sheets. Now these envelopes are a little bigger than my standard envelopes that I use, which are 4.5, I believe, by 5 3/4. These are larger envelopes, so they took a little bit more, but I can still make it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to, I like to have things match. There you go, like that. And I have another piece. It's going to end up being right here. That. I'm going to cut my way all the way down. So depending on the pattern, really, you don't need like full sheets. You can I call it patching, but all you're doing is adding pieces to your already existing pieces. And if you align them properly, you should have no issues at all for it to be an eyesore. In other words, that the lines won't match or whatever. You should have no problem at all to add a piece and make it match. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Now I'm going to take this and cut it down. That. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. This. Now, the project is almost done. Now at this point, I always end up doing a lot more than what is needed. But it's because I absolutely love details. So I'm going to take my Distress Oxide and I'm going to take a piece of paper, add it underneath, and at this point I'm just going to edge all the outside. Now, if you wanted to be creative, you could edge this. I know you're going to say, what? You could edge this with green. It'd be pretty, really, really pretty. Because all you'd be doing is adding another color to your blending. Now, what I'm doing right here, guys, is I'm coloring the inside, just the inside of the envelope. Don't have to do inside here because it's not going to show. But I like to take it and just edge everything that way there. It covers up all those little white edges. And you can do it with whatever ink you have. I just grabbed the first thing I had was my, well, my distressing. I like my distressing, especially the oxide. Oh, wow, the oxide. Tim Holt did a good job bringing these out. These are pretty. These are pretty, and the oxides sit on top of the paper instead of getting themselves like embedded into the paper, so you have a nice solid surface. I really like them. I use them a lot, and I work with them a lot. But, you know, any ink will do, and we all have our preferences. That is a sure thing. Just like that. Look at it, how fast it goes, guys. And look how pretty. Don't you think? I think this is absolutely stunning. I really, really like, and so easy to make. And who would not appreciate receiving a brag book like this to put in their purse to, I mean, this is a big word there, but to show off their grandkids. We all proud of our grandkids. I mean, and it's an extension of our family. Our children, having children is just the legacy of our family name. Everything is just absolutely wonderful. So I just do this, and I'm done the inside rather. So now I'm going to just do the outside quickly. Nothing out of the ordinary, just getting that edge nice and red. Really simple. Really, really simple. Just like so. So, and I have this end piece to do, which will end up having, I'll touch this up because there you go. We have that. And now we have our envelope pretty much finished like that. And that's exactly the same process as making this one here. Now I'm going to embellish this to match up, because I did do a boo-boo here and another one inside. So all I'm going to do is add some embellishments on top that will definitely make it look yummy, just like this one. And it is so sweet. In order to do the inside, this one here I used a Velcro piece, which also you can. I added a bow, a little pearl here. I added just a circle here and a little white wreath, and I added a bunch of baby small flat back pearls. And with the, if you can see, it's all little stars in a wreath here. But the embellishments is just whatever you have that you want to embellish your work with, because it's what counts is in here. So you could even add brag book in front, or you could do whatever you want to personalize it. It would be perfect. And all I did for the inside cards is I ended up cutting these to match, and this, the base of it, the layers, is 5.5 by 4. That's the first layer. And the second layer is 5 by 3 3/4. And that'll fit just on the inside. Another thing I did, I just took my quarter rounder and rounded off the edges. As you'll see here, I just, doesn't matter which one, they're all the same. I just rounded the edges in order for it to just be prettier, and plus when you drop it in, it just slides in because there's nothing to catch on the corners. And I just added a stamp on each corner, and you have plenty of room to put pictures here if they want to put a school picture or whatever, just a small picture. And they could even keep it open like this on a table, because it'll open up like that. And it has everything you would want in a little brag book. This is Yvonne. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's definitely a fun project to make, and it's a good way to move some paper that you're really not a fan of, but yet you can make something nice with it, and give it to someone you love. Because you know how the old saying goes, trash to one is treasure to another. Paper you don't favor for one may be the love of another. So you never know. This is Yvonne, and I'm going to leave you for now, but I will be back with more. So enjoy your day, and most of all, be happy. Catch you later. Ciao.